Hello, welcome to Sustainably Speaking with me, your host, Joe Mosca. It's no secret that younger generations are worried about climate change and are at the forefront of climate activism. Today, I'm speaking with Dr. Ariane Jong-Levinger from Reform and Sustain, a local group of young environmental activists based here in Orange County. Let's hear what she has to share with us. Good morning, Dr. Ari.
Good morning, Joe.
So glad you're on our show today.
Thank you. So nice to be here.
Tell me a little bit about Reform and Sustain and what's the mission of Reform and Sustain?
Yeah, absolutely. So Reform and Sustain is a group of nonpartisan young environmentalists who aim to connect young people to ways to take action on environmental issues in Southern California. So we do this by attending events together, engaging in our democracy, and also sharing knowledge of things like sustainable living, climate policy, all that good stuff. Our mission is not only to make a positive difference on things like climate change, but also to provide a welcoming community of young people in Orange County who share a concern for the environment and are ready to make a difference, but they just need a little help getting started.
What do you talk to your students about in terms of Orange County Power Authority or community choice?
When I think of Orange County Power Authority, I think of the choice to have an energy mix that I choose, rather than only having an energy mix provided by the investor-owned utility. I can choose renewable energy. Right. And that's kind of a game changer because in my own life, I want to be able to make an impact on climate change. There's not many choices that you can make that quickly and easily. I looked at my bills, my energy bills, and I didn't see that much of a cost difference. And I thought, okay, I'm a renter, but I don't have to install solar panels on my home. I could just choose OCPA and have power over being able to address climate change in that way.
We have some extraordinary people like yourself that are really, kind of mobilizing and educating people in Orange County, so it really makes me feel really good about what we're doing. So the other thing I'm really interested in is your perspective as a professor, as somebody, an educator, a scholar, somebody who is teaching our next generation. What are some of the things that you're teaching your students about climate science, about climate action?
Yeah, so actually a lot of them already get that climate change is real and that it's happening. So I'm mostly focusing on solutions, action, things that they can do that will give them hope. And I try to inspire them by saying, you could be the scientist or engineer that helps contribute to climate change and solve aspects of climate change. So that's one. And the other thing is I tell them, to raise your voice when you see something that needs to change, just speak up. A lot of young people don't realize this, but decision makers pay attention when they have something to say and when they speak their mind. And so I really just encourage them to engage in their democracy and just raise their voice.
So what advice do you give to your students that want to get involved in climate change and make a difference in their community?
Yeah, so I think the number one thing is join other people who are like-minded, right? It's so easy to feel like we're the only one who is really caring about this issue or wants to do something. So I found a tremendous amount of hope and support from other people, other young people, and that's kind of why we built Reform and Sustain. It's that community that can reassure and also educate each other. But I found that the more of those small things you do, the more you gain confidence. I can do this eco-living thing, and it doesn't have to be perfect, and you don't have to do everything all at once. But just doing that little thing gives you the confidence and assurance that you can make bigger changes. Individual action is important, right? Doing those sustainable living things in your own home. but so is collective action. And we really can't address climate change at the scale that we need to unless we all, get on board with things like renewable energy. And so I think when I say engage in your democracy, what I mean is make sure you vote, make sure you email your city council representative or maybe your congress member and tell them why you care about the issue.
What a great message. I mean, this is exactly what we're talking about at OCPA. Individual actions, even if they seem like small, they make a difference. They make a real big difference. Well, Doctor, thank you so much for being a guest on our show today. I've learned so much. It's been really insightful. Thank you.
It's been quite a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me, and I learned a lot.
Well, awesome. Thank you. I believe that by sharing knowledge and ideas, we can inspire one another to take meaningful steps in our daily lives to address climate change. That's what we call the power of community. We want to hear from you too. Send us your questions, ideas, and suggestions for future episodes to sustainablyspeaking@ocpower.org. Thank you for joining us, and remember, every small action counts in making our world more sustainable.